Guys, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. Hi guys, it's Man Cave Dave and the old MC. Before we start our first lesson, Intro to Chords, I just wanted to take a sec to say thanks to everybody for all the likes and shares last week in our intro video, where the music meets the mountains. But I just want to remind everyone too that this is not just going to be a guitar lesson channel. It's going to be everything music. We're going to talk about new music and review it. We're going to share our concert experiences with you and tours we could recommend you go see. We're also going to do interviews with people, all kinds of people, talking about all kinds of things all related to music. I'm going to put a link in my Instagram to my YouTube page. And if you're seeing this on YouTube, well, come follow me on Instagram at Bennett Don't Break It. Oh, and also too, look for our podcast starting soon, Man Cave Dave Debates. It should be a lot of fun. But anyways, thanks again, and let's get started with the lesson. Hey everybody, welcome back to Where Music Meets the Mountains. This is our first official guitar lesson, and it's called Intro to Chords. As I explained in the intro video to our channel, I was a non-traditional student picking up the guitar for the first time at the age of 38 to learn. It was extremely frustrating at first, and I think had I had cable TV at the time, I probably wouldn't have stuck with it. But I had a good friend to give me some great advice, and I stuck to it, and now I'm going to share that with you. First thing with this lesson, what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to play 3 chords. We're not going to get into music theory today. We're not going to get into the chromatic scale or the major scale, although the chords that we're going to play are open on the neck, which means open as in they're played where the open strings are part of the chord. We'll get into that later as well. The 3 we're going to learn is the C chord, the D chord, and the G chord. I was playing all 3 there in the intro, just in a 4-beat measure and repeating them over and over. And that's kind of what I'm alluding to. As a beginner, I think that had I studied music theory more, I may have not kept the interest in the guitar. I actually, a friend of mine wrote down these 4 chords. I, figured out where to put my fingers and what it should sound like, and I got used to it, and I would strum that chord, like if I'm playing a C now. And you screw it up. You kept on going, but you stuck at it, and then it was you pick your fingers up, put them back down, and then change. And that tempo too is obviously not something I was doing when I first started playing, but that will come as you get more comfortable and create what we call muscle memory. And that is a big part of, I think, learning as a very beginner, is getting the muscle memory down to hold these open chords. And then once you start creating music, your enthusiasm just goes through the roof, and you just want to get more skill and more knowledge, and show off for people and stuff like that. But that's music is fun, and it makes you have that drive. So having said all that boring stuff, let's get started. First one we're going to go through is the D chord. To get playing, you do need a couple things. You need a guitar that's in tune. Any guitar will work. I'm playing my Gibson Songwriter today. It's a beautiful Gibbs Sunday. So I'm going to show you first on this one the D chord. The D chord is made up of 3 notes in open. Well, any chord is made up of 3 notes, at least 3 notes. But it's the D, the F sharp, and the A. So if we're playing the D chord, 4th string, open D, then we've got the A, the D, and the F sharp. Okay, D chord. Now you can play the A and hold the F sharp over with the thumb and strum all 6 strings. And it's just a little fuller on the chord, but when you're first learning, that can be a difficult thing, is to get that thumb over it. So just 4 chords, or 4 strings, D chord. Now, this is where the patience comes in, because that's the other thing you're going to need. A guitar with strings in tune and a lot of patience. So you might have to do this. Get the finger on the E string to the F sharp, and on the B string on the 3rd fret, get that D. And then our B string, we've got to hold the A, so we have that little triangle. That's what I think of as patterns sometimes, is I memorize a pattern, and that again will come into play down the road. But I have that little triangle that I create right there, and I hit the D, the A, the D, and the F sharp. And I play that so I make sure I'm not buzzing. I got a good firm grip, I'm not pushing too hard, but I'm also too not muting my own strings by not pushing hard enough. So I'll play that over, and that's what you got to do. First, start with that, just getting the hold of the chord, strum it, rings out every string that you're playing. And this is going to be the format for all 3 chords that we're going to learn today, and it's going to be a real quick lesson. But we got the D, and we know that there we need the notes to make up that D chord are D, F sharp, and A. And then let's move on to I'm going to go to the G chord next, because C chords played a little bit differently by different players, and some people say you have to do it a certain way, and that's not true. The way you do it is the best way. As long as it is a C chord, you're okay. So holding the C chord, I always think of it as kind of a slope running downhill, but we're not playing this high E. But on the 3rd fret, we are going to hold a C, making up one of the 3 notes for the C chord, which is our C, an E, and a G. So what we're doing is we have an open G, and then here on, let's see, string on our D string, we're going to hold here at the E, and then we have our C already held, and then our B string, we're holding another C, and then down here we already have an E involved, so we can strum all that, and that's our C chord. So the C chord is made up of C, E, and G, but when we're open, even though we're not holding them, we still all have all those notes played in the C chord. Some guys will hold it like this so that they're getting the G and strum it like that. And this is personal, you can play your C chord the way you like, but as you get better and you start to embellish on chords, you want that pinky freed up to do other things sometimes. I know that was a jumbled mess, but you're a new guitar player and I'm a new guitar teacher, so we're going to learn together. All right, next and final chord for today is the G. And I just went to the C, and even though I said we're going to do the G chord, so now we're going to do the G chord. And again, there's people that will play this one different as well. They'll play with the G on the root note of the low E, and then the second note here is your A, B on the A string. So it's G, B, 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 G, and then you can play the B, and I guess that's why a lot of guys do it, because it's just the B string, or then you're going on to the A again, or I'm sorry, on the E string you're hitting the G, but a lot of guys will play it like that, where they're hitting the G and the D, and then the G, the D, and then a B and the G, which is still a G chord, as is that. Both G chords. All the same notes being played on the open strings, and you're holding the notes that need to be played with your fingers down on those strings. Now, you can slow that down and break it down as you will, but there's a ton of information you can get off the internet. Other channels here that have printable diagrams for holding your chords. I can't talk today, but the thing is, just getting it down first is, however you do learn it, whether it's watching other people, which is how I actually find myself learning the best, is I watch people play things sometimes, and that's how I pick it up, because I don't have the best ear, but I can intently watch it and see what the right hand is doing and what their left hand is doing. I'll listen for that, and I can get it down pretty good. So what I recommend is then to just get used to those shapes, playing those chords. Repeat them over and over so you feel comfortable as you're on the D, playing the D cleanly, play the C cleanly, play the G cleanly, pick up the tempo, interchange them, have fun with it, make some good music, and we'll see you next time right here in the Man Cave, where music meets the mountains.